Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving back into the Pirate Alliance Kizuna Clash versus Basil Hawkins 10-star event with a full batch team. Now, this particular Kizuna Clash, it's very unique because there are a lot of boosters. All three of the rare recruits, including the support rare recruit, give you a 1.1 times multiplier, and then with Shanks vs Kid and Dory Brogy, you're actually getting a 1.3 times multiplier. This totals with a friend captain a 2.92 times boost for your super boss token drops as well as your regular boss token drops. So as you can see here, if you have the three rare recruits, you want to chuck them on the team. And obviously, you want to run most likely a Shanks captain because like you want to bring slasher teams. But today's video, we're going to focus on utilizing these characters and talking about replacements for you guys if you guys are missing some of these units. Now, I understand some people are going to be like, Stump, I didn't pull Frog Toes. Who can I replace Frog Toes with? Or, Stump, I didn't pull Fulgur. Who can I replace Fulgur with? With today's video, I'm going to showcase the booster team, how it works, and then give you guys some options to replace these particular characters. So, let's scroll on up here. Let's head over to the Kizuna Clash crew, and let's start it off with the Psy variation. Kicking it off with Psy, we're going to take a look at what the actual boss does. Obviously, the recommended characters are Shanks, Kid, the Giant, and then Fulgur. Was it Fulgur? Fulgur, the Adventurer. Obviously, the other two rare recruits, they don't say they're recommended, but like they definitely are. They definitely help out. So if you have them, bring them. Slasher, Suitor Driven, get all the good stuff. You get Special Reverse on Battle 2, and there's 5 turns of all type orbs being unfavorable. On the final stage, there is the regular blowaway stuff and Grey Shield. The enemy is weak to slashes and has a immunity except for defense down and damage reduction. The enemy gives you a full board of block slots, bind on your left-hand column, 6 turns of damage reduction, top row gets despaired, they remove your type effects, and then there's an intimidation. If you guys use any orb effect boost, you are going to lose it by 1 turn. So I believe you just can't bring orb boosting abilities, which is a little bit of a shame. You kind of want to carry them into the final stage. Because you lose 3 turns of them, which is pretty much impossible to actually get. But with the booster team, obviously we're going to be running Shanks as captain. Shanks is going to take care of the Despair for us. He's also going to be a double conditional booster. You do get 1 turn of Special Reverse on turn 2, and type orbs become unfavorable. So this is where the Fulgur, the Adventure, this guy, comes into play. He's going to give you a full board of tandem orbs. He locks them. He reduces your verse charge. And he has the Special Reverse mechanic. He's also immune to stun, which makes him very, very good as well. But the main reason you're going to be using him is for full body tandem orbs, as well as giving that cooldown for the entire crew. You can then pop a Shanks special, use the verse ability, because you'll be running 2 Shankses here. So you can just do a lot more damage on this stage. On the final stage, you want to utilize the special of Parururu. She's going to remove the damage reduction. And then you want to utilize good old Frog Toes. He's going to remove the bind on the left-hand column. He's going to give you type advantage, but unfortunately you can't get type advantage. Unfortunately, you can't get the second part of his kit as well, getting the chain multiplier buff as well. So for this particular team, I would definitely just chuck on a support, like Zoro, for example. Just something that's going to give you a chain buff on the final stage. Remember, you can't use an orb buff. So utilizing you're not actually going to get her orb buff. You're still going to set defense to 0, which is great. But you're not going to get her orb buff. The upside of utilizing 2 Shankses, though, is you're going to get both of Shanks' conditional buffs. Shanks is going to apply the weakening effect on the final stage. Is going to lower the defense. You're also going to have the increased damage taken with Dory and Brogy. Dory and Brogy here are just like straight replaceable with anyone. They're basically just an attack booster and someone that can give you either increased damage taken or can give you a full water orb. So if you don't have them, just replace them with someone else. Yamato is probably a perfect replacement for both Dory Brogy and because that's going to remove the damage reduction for you. If you guys don't have Frog Toes, you just want to take off Frog Toes and use another bind remover. That's going to work absolutely fine. And if you don't have Shanks, again, running Yamato is going to be a very, very good option as your captain. Any other slasher captain will work fine. V1 Roger's a great option, and then you could run like something like V1 Odin if you're missing something like Fulgur. I've just read it. How did I forget already? Is it Fulgur? That way you get a full board of Wano slots, and then you can carry that into the final stage and do some fun stuff there. So you have other options. Despair Removing Captain is going to be the play. If you can't find a Shanks friend captain, then you just run Roger, or Roger and Odin is another very, very good option as well. Onto the Strength Fight now. The Strength Fight has, obviously the recommended characters are the same, Slashes, Powerhouse, and I believe it's Cerebral. Cerebral got all the good stuff. Remove sound effects on turn 2. There is a tap timing barrier for 2 perfect hits and an intimidation for attack and orb buffs. That will go away when you kill that stage as well. On battle 3, after level 31, there is the regular Grey Shield and Blowaway Shenanigans. The enemy gives you crewmate stun, 2 turns of a slot tandem barrier, so 2 tandem orbs need to hit to break the barrier. 7 turns of special one on your top row. Full immunity except defense down. Normal attacks only. You lose type effects. It's defense up. And then there's also a territory. On defeat, the enemy is going to slap you with 100,000 damage. So you do want a way to try and tank that. But basically, once we head back over here to turn 2, to remove the sound effects, we have Frogtoes. Frogtoes has the ability to remove sound effects in his special, or special effects. But you don't really need to get around this. Like, if you bring a ship that just makes it easy to hit perfects, you should be able to hit the tap timing. But if you guys are missing something like this unit, you could definitely just go into the search feature. I would recommend utilizing a slasher-based character. Just because, like, 9 times out of 10, you want to run a Shanks friend captain. That's going to be the play. You can even look at crewmate abilities, and then you could just go down to something that has, what is it? Status effects recovery. Should be here. Remove sound effects. So you have a bunch of different options here that can just do this as a, like, sailor ability. So you have Buggy, for example. He can give you a chain boundary. You have Izo Kiku. Kizaru Fuji. As long as you just select any of these characters, they're going to work absolutely fine. You could also use a special as well. But like I said, if you have a ship that makes it easy to hit perfects, like, you should be able to just bypass it anyway. As for the defense up, we have she's going to set defense to 0. If you guys are missing you could use something like Carrot Wanda off the top of my head. But basically, anyone that's going to remove 6 turns of defense up. Kinemon Dendro, I believe, is another one off the top of my head that you could definitely use. But anyone, like I said, anyone that just reduces defense to 0. Zoro Sanji would be another great option, but look, that's going to work out fine. Furbo, he's going to give you the tandem orbs. He's not really essential for this particular team because you have the Dory Brogy unit. Dory Brogy are going to remove the special one on your top row, but they also, I believe they also reduce damage by 90%. So that's always fun. You do want to have a way of tanking damage, but if you guys are missing something like, Furbo actually takes care of the stun. That's actually very, very important. If you guys are missing something like Furbo, you have a very trusty character that has been boosted for a lot of the events and is free to play. You have this Arlong. Arlong is going to replace both Furbo as well as the Giant. So if you don't have the Giants or Furbo, or you're missing one of the two, Arlong is going to basically replace either of them. So you can just sort of do that. Downside is if you replace the Giants, you do lose an attack boosting special. So you do want to try and, like, bring an attack booster. Whether that's a support or something like that, you're going to be fine. If you don't have Frogtoes, slap on another increase, like chain increaser. Pururu is going to be your what's it called? It's going to be your Orb Booster too. So again, Kara Wanda is just like a fantastic replacement for her. Moving on to the final variation now, we come up against the Dex variation of Hawkins. And this one is just drastically harder than the other two. Like, the difference between this fight and the last two is just so extreme. Basically, Slasher, Shooter, Free Spirit get all the good stuff, and it's the same boosted units. On turn 2, there's 2 Pleasure units, and they have 2 million HP. If you don't kill them, they run away and give you 3 turns of paralysis each. But they only have 2 million HP. You can kill them pretty easily. But they also slap you with Bind on your top and bottom row, 3 turns of defense up, as well as block slots. So you're going to get a full board of block orbs there. On the final stage, after level 31, you get the regular blowaway stuff, Grey Shield, percent damage, so a 92% HP cut. It's going to bring you very, very low. You're also going to get slapped with Burn. Enemy has resilience, normal attacks only, immunity except defense down. Special reverse on your crewmates. 2 turns of a hit barrier at 20 hits. 2 turns of hunger, and then a chain multiplier reduction of 90% attack down if you're below 2.5. On top of that, if you use a type effects boost, you're going to lose all your beneficial effects. But the upside here is you actually can bring type effects boost. And what they really want you to do for this fight is actually bring Dory Brogy as a friend captain. So if you can find Dory Brogy as that friend captain, this is going to help you out a lot. And that's exactly what we're going to do with our particular team here. On turn 2, you are going to have to deal with the defense up. So you do want to do something like that, actually. You're going to have to deal with the defense up, as well as get around bind. So utilizing Frogtoes, once again, he's going to get around the bind, and then you can actually utilize the this particular unit to set defense to 0, and then you're going to get an orb buff. With that, you can then use a Dory Brogy special. That's going to rotate all your block orbs into matching. Well, I believe it's like recovery on one side, tandem on the other. And then you're also going to get increased damage taken and all that fun stuff, so you can do some pretty good damage there. Once you've done that, you can kill stage 2 pretty hunky-dory, and you're just off to the races. The downside is because you're using on turn 2, you do lose an orb buffing special for this final stage, and because you use Dory Brogy on turn 2, you are going to lose your attack boost. So that's why I would highly recommend bringing a second Dory Brogy. Now, the second Dory Brogy on this team is just going to do so much. You're going to get recovery orbs on the left-hand column to get around the hunger. They're also going to do end-of-turn damage to get around the resilience, and they remove the burn on the final stage. Shanks is going to take care of the special reverse, so if you don't have Shanks as your captain, you're going to be in for a rough time, but a really good character for this is actually Carrot. Carrot can bypass the barrier. She can allow all your characters to bypass barriers. You can use her as a sailor. She's going to swap into captain, and that way she's going to give everyone the cooldowns, and she's an orb booster as well, which is very, very handy. As for this team, though, I don't really have an orb boosting character for the final stage. I believe I could probably chuck on, like, Vivi onto my Furgo, but look, that's a cerebral orb booster, not exactly a freak spirit orb booster. There might be something to do with slashes. I'll sort of have a look at it, and that will be sort of a video for later down the line when we are doing these sort of big damage runs. Now, remember, this fight, it's a lot harder than the other two. If you do bring 2 Dory Brogies, like, you are going to be in for a really good time. But if you don't have your own Dorian Brogy, you just want to bring a block orb manipulator for turn 2. Like, that's going to be the big thing. Again, Carrot Wanda are a great option if you guys don't have because you can just set defense to 0. And if you don't have Frog Toes, you can use something like Yamato as captain. That's going to take care of the bind. Or you can run just another bind removing character like Kaku, or there's so many bind removing characters in the game, man. As long as they're slashes, like, you should be fine. But that's going to wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, but like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later!